It's time for Mr. Fundamental!
Presented by no one.
Nikola Vucevic has been pegged as underrated for a few years, and his production this year only strengthens that label. Actually, there are quite a few other overlooked impact that goes beyond his box scores, and in a parallel dimension, he could have been a Nikola Jokic if his team focused on building around him. While getting traded to the Bulls might not turn him into an MVP candidate, I think his impact would be magnified even more, so let's check out what Vuce does to help his team and his fit with the Bulls. I'm sure you're well aware of Vuce's skill set. He's a 3-level scorer, 20 and 10 guy, and one of the better passing bigs in the league. Combine all these skills with his size, you have an all-star building block, but the underrated impact is actually what doesn't show up on the scoreboard. The Magic were developing their young core, so Vuce was used to help with their development, and the most obvious example is his jumper. Vuce has been extending his range further and further just to accommodate for the young pieces, whose jumper are usually an area for development. Just because of that, look at all this open space in the paint. His defender has to respect his 3-ball, and this time, Ayton wasn't close enough to contest either. This creates more open lane for drives like this huge slam by Fultz. He also allowed the flexibility for their big wings to play in and out. Gordon is a screener, and takes advantage of the open paint with his alley-oop. By pulling away the big, Magic players could focus on breaking down their man without the fear of a rim protector rotating over. In semi-transition, Gordon has a mismatch, and Vucevic is trailing. Since Jordan has to respect the 3-ball, he provides no help on this Gordon drive to the rim. Another Gordon drive after screen. Robinson has no intention of leaving Vuce, so Gordon only has to beat his man. Credit Toppin for the contest, but leaves Gordon open for the putback. Here's a quick drag screen. Because of Vuce's threat as a shooter, Bryant doesn't help on the drive. Fultz only needs to focus on beating his man, and he gets all the way to the rim. Then you throw in his passing ability, things get a lot easier for the young players. The defense contains well, but on the Vuce pop, it triggers a duck-in by Okiki against a smaller player. A nice bounce pass gets a below-average creator a shot at the rim. For this possession, check out this off-the-dribble, one-handed whip pass to the corner for the triple. It's not just the accuracy, but the timing as well. Here's a low post split. The net switches this, but Vuce understands Green isn't looking at the ball. Another one-hander behind Green's back, hitting Gordon in stride for the 3-ball. When the Hornets show on the screen, the Magic hit Vuce out on top. He scans the floor, and this could easily be a duck-in for Gordon. Vuce continues to scan, and finds Fournier in the corner for the open triple. You combine his shooting and passing, you get these Jokic-esque passes for cutters, and Bacon hits the tough shot. Here it is again, the fake handoff, but since Hayward is trailing, he finds Ross cutting to the paint. This gets covered well, but the Magic gets into a series of driving kicks. The ball finds its way back to Vuce, and he shows off his passing again. This might seem like an off-target pass, but this is actually a lead pass to open space. If he threw it to Ross here, Rozier is close enough to recover and contest, and there's also a chance that he could intercept the pass as well. The pass creates more space between Ross and Anthony, but credit Bridges for reading this well and the contest. His impact on Fultz is probably the most significant. His jumper provides the same effect in terms of opening up the lane for a slasher like Fultz. Fultz's jumper isn't respected, and he's also unwilling to take these shots unless he's super wide open, but making them is still an issue. His defender is very comfortable going under the screen, and that's what Dinwiddie does. This is where Vuce's most underrated impact comes in, and that's his screening. Vuce anticipates that Dinwiddie would go under, so he levels with him. Dinwiddie's insistent of going under gets him pinned, and Fultz gets a wide open look at the elbow. Again, he levels with Fultz's sagging defender, and DiVincenzo counters by going over the screen. That slight change in momentum is all the Magic were looking for, and Fultz leverages the drive into a step-back jumper. On the handoff, he knows Sexton is going to go under, which is why he instantly flips the screen after handing it off. This forces Sexton to go under again, and by this point, Fultz already has a full head of steam starting near the elbow. No help from Drummond because of Vuce, and Bully Ball gets Fultz the basket. On the screen, Hill goes over without a problem, but check out what Vuce does. He gets low in his stance and widens his body, basically acting as a rescreen, and Fultz gets another wide open short jumper. Most bigs are rim runners nowadays, so we see more slips to get ahead of the defense, but that doesn't work for ball handlers with poor jumpers. Vuce and his screen is one reason why Fultz's development has been promising since arriving in Orlando. You see more of this in pick and rolls. When he sees Zeller showing up high, he instantly slips into open space. It takes a little longer for Fournier to find him, but before the catch, he sees Zeller recovering. When he catches it, he turns his head to see a help defender there. Since Zeller's momentum is carrying him this way, Vuce going over his left shoulder makes Zeller screen off the help defender and gets just enough space for the hook. After the screen, most bigs will sprint to the rim to get ahead of the defense. Vuce actually flares a little towards this way to extend the time that he's in the passing window, and he gets rewarded with a short floater. Another screen, and Vuce sees Biombo is going to show. He flares into open space rather than towards the basket to create more separation and just drains the mid-range jumper. The Magic are about to run a handoff with Vuce at the elbow. Young sags back to give his teammate space to go through if necessary and to protect the paint. Vuce reads this and pivots into an open jumper. Later in the game, they run the same handoff, but Gaffer sticks with Vuce. Pressing up so high makes Gaffer susceptible to a blow-by, but he still recovers well. Vuce counters by spinning middle and gets the hook shot to fall. The last thing about him is his willingness to take a back seat and run the offense. With how effective Vuce is defensively, you'll think the Magic would constantly get him in the post and throw the ball to him. Well, this year, he's ranked second in post touches, mostly because of all the injuries they've had. Even so, out of the top 10 players leading in post touches, he's second in pass percentage and closer to the bottom in terms of shot attempted per touch. This goes to show that he's a team player. With that said, Vuce is still fully capable of bailing his team out after the offense bogs down. They run a high post split, but there's no openings. He takes matter into his own hands and hits the turnaround hook shot. The offense stagnates, and Vuce gets in near the half-court line. He's getting more and more comfortable attacking off the dribble and expanding his ways to bail his team out. With only 8 seconds on the clock, the pick and roll gets contained. They find Vuce on the pop, and he goes to work off the dribble for the tough finish. What I've said so far is going to have a positive impact on the Bulls. The 3-point shooting should carry over, but even if he struggles with a shot, it's not going to be a big deal. His jumper was necessary on a Magic roster that lacked consistent shooting. The Bulls have no shortage of that, and their guards like Levine and White are both pull-up threats. That's why defenses tend to show or double on screens, just like they do here. This creates these 4-on-3 short roll opportunities for the bigs, and they find Levine open in the corner. We can easily slot Vuce here. The defense shows on Levine, and he finds Vuce on the short roll. They keep finding the open man until they hit the corner 3. Of course, Vuce's interior scoring is actually what the Bulls are looking for. See how the ball goes from outside to inside, scrambling the defense enough to kick it back out for the triple. Again, the defense shows on the screen. Levine releases pressure with the easy pass, which then finds his way to Vuce at the high post. The ball goes outside, inside, and out again for great open looks. If the defense resorts to conservative strategy, this either leads to pull-up threes by their guards, or Vuce would take advantage of his recovering defender and do damage on the roll. Vuce made his all-star appearance playing next to a respectable pull-up guard in DJ Augustine, so think about what might happen playing next to an all-star in Levine. It's really easy to see how Vuce would fit with the Bulls, just because of what they did by starting Thaddeus Young at center. Young has years of experience in putting himself in the right and open position to help the team out. Does that sound similar to someone we've been talking about? Replacing Vuce in Young's position, the Bulls can keep their offensive flexibility without giving up size on the other end. The Bulls do have some similar sets as the Magic, like the screen and the handoff, and Vuce is no stranger to that. See how Vuce would start flaring out, pulling his defender away from the paint. Williams isn't a great creator, but attacking one dribble away from the basket without a help defender is something he can do. The biggest skill the Bulls are probably looking for is having an interior scorer to bail them out when the initial action gets contained, and that's something Young couldn't provide. After turning down the handoff, there's no other option but a Young isolation on Gobert, and that didn't turn out well. Vuce has been doing this for years with the Magic, and regular pick and rolls creates enough separation for him already. Throw in his off the dribble improvements, the Bulls have another scorer to turn to for bailing them out, aside from Levine. All in all, Vuce provides that interior presence that the Bulls is missing to round out their perimeter talent. I think you might have noticed I didn't mention anything about the defense, cause Vuce isn't a game changer on that end. He makes up for his lack of athleticism with positional defense, and teams can build a good defense around him. But looking at the Bulls roster, they don't have a lot of good perimeter defenders either. We'll just have to see what happens with Vuce's debut. Let me know what you guys think of the Vuce trade, his fit with the Bulls, and maybe other underrated aspects of his game I haven't covered. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Remember to drop a like rating down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.